To renovate or not, what is a better buy? Should we buy a turnkey property or one that needs renovations? All right, before we get in, I want you guys to do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, and I want to continue to bring you guys great content. Really appreciate it. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Brenton Hanes. I've been in real estate for the last 20 years. I'm a multifamily investor myself with 78 doors. My family's been investing in real estate for the last 60 years, and we're pushing almost 900 doors in that portfolio alone. We have purchased properties anywhere from needing extensive renovations to just a little bit of curb appeal. Our current project is a 150 unit apartment building. Now we're doing quite a bit of renovations on that project, but anything with a property that side, it's gonna be large. So I get asked this question a lot. Brenton, should I buy a property that needs renovations, or should I find something a little bit more turnkey? In this video, we're gonna address exactly this question. So for me, it comes down to just a couple things. First, if I can find a property that's turnkey, that meets the returns I'm looking for, that's gonna be the property I'm gonna get. Second, I don't need to take on any unnecessary renovations if I can find that property that already gives me the return I'm looking for. So with renovations comes a lot of extra risk and some unknowns depending on the size of the renovations that we decide to take on. You know, if we need major electrical, plumbing, roof, some exterior work, and we got to gut these units, there's a lot of unknowns there, and it takes more time for me to get that property on the market and producing income. Now, if you are a new investor, you should be looking for a turnkey property all day long. Are those going to be harder to find? Of course they are. But when you're getting into the business, you need to be more patient than a normal investor and really sniff out those good deals that are going to be more turnkey for you. You're probably in the process of building your team, and that includes vendors that you're going to need. It's not very advantageous to take on a new venture and adding renovations on top of it. For me, doing renovations is a whole nother business in itself. And it takes years and time and great vendors to develop a great gut so you know what property is going to be good for you and for your portfolio. Now, if you're a seasoned investor, renovations can make sense to you if you have all that figured out. You have your vendors, you have your contractors, and you trust them. Now, for me, no matter what and how long I've done business with some of these contractors, I'm always going to pad my budget at least 15, if not 20%, depending on the size of the renovations I'm doing, and depending on if I'm going to be moving walls around and changing that floor plan inside that unit. But more importantly, let's talk about the middle ground here, and some places that people kind of overlooked. And these are those undervalued properties, meaning they don't need a lot of renovations. They're kind of more turnkey, but the income really that it produces isn't there. These rents are undervalued. Now, this is the sweet spot for me. We want to find a property where all I have to do is go in and maybe do a little bit of lipstick renovations. So all we basically have to focus on is getting these rents up. Now, in multifamily, the more we increase these rents, the more our property is going to be worth. Remember, a 5+ unit is going to be based more off the income it produces. So if we can find something that's undervalued because of the rents, that's really the sweet spot. But for you guys that are contractors and really diving in these properties, don't be afraid to take on the renovations. Just know what you're getting into. For you new investors, look for something that's a little bit more turnkey. So let's recap real quick. For new investors, let's focus on something a little bit more turnkey. Let's take the time to do so. Even if you got a year to find the right property, that's going to be your sweet spot. That's what you should be focused on. Learn the business, learn the area, learn the market, develop your team in the process. For you seasoned investors, yeah, renovations are fine, but don't forget, we're talking about a 15% to a 20% pad in those renovations. I've never seen a contractor come in on budget on some of these projects, especially the bigger you go. And remember, the sweet spot. Look for those undervalued properties that all we have to do is increase the rents. I've seen a lot of investors get lost in renovations and kind of lose their butts trying to build that appreciation in the value in the property and recoup it in higher rents. Doesn't always work out. Remember guys, have a great time out there. Have fun with this business. Learn, soak it all in. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.